Welcome back, everyone, for a loud boom coming. Stranger Things 5 Watch Party! The teaser trailer dropped, and we have our first real glimpse of what's ahead in the final season. Now, we already know from the Duffer Brothers, and the trailer essentially confirms, this season dives right back into the action. There's no reset where everyone is trying to go back to being normal. There's no starting over. Season 4 ended with a cliffhanger, and that is where the show is picking up. Vecna created a tear through Hawkins, and now much of the city has been evacuated. The military is trying to control the spread with their burns, but it's likely not helping very much. There's a very different theme for this season than the others. While previously we had summer at the mall and spring break with friends, now everything is focused on Vecna and the final confrontation. The season is dropping in 3 parts, and I strongly suspect that part 1 will be the first 4 episodes, and all the clips from this trailer are only from part 1. The fact that they're all wearing 2 or so costumes kind of confirms that as well. But if there's one word or mood that really describes this trailer, I would say it's desperation. Take any shot of these characters and you will see they're desperate. Look here, and here, and these two. It's all just desperation. Vecna and the Upside Down are spreading, and they don't know if or how they can be able to stop him. But obviously they're going to try. Most of what we see in the trailer is preparation and execution of whatever plan they have. The main part of it is some sort of music attack. Now the trailer features the decibel meter running up to 100. It also starts with Steve somehow maneuvering a radio dish. Are they gonna blast music through a city across the radio stations or what? The theory is pretty simple. Music is clearly somehow a weak spot or blind spot for Vecna and the Upside Down. Obviously you remember music saved Max and was the key to escaping from Vecna's curse back in season 4. But music is also how Eddie lured the bats away for the diversion to attack. I suspect this is where the idea and plan originates. Dustin takes Eddie's death hard. He looked to him for guidance. Notice his Hellfire Club shirt is ripped and torn. He's still wearing it though. I suspect somewhere in this is where Dustin gets the idea for the music, which sets things off. Eddie is dead and he's not coming back as Cass or anything like that. However, that doesn't mean his legacy can't carry on in this season. This is what starts the train, so to speak. We see the radio station at several points and in different contexts. Mike, Will, and Holly are riding their bikes to the station in the daytime, and Steve is parked out front at night. At some point, they appear to get inside, and I think this is from the view inside the station. Like, this is it. This is where it's going down on part 1. It's about the decibels. It needs to be loud. It goes up to 100. Well, how loud is that? Let's look at the chart. Well, according to this, it's about as loud as a motorcycle, or a handheld drill, but motorcycle is cooler. Okay, that's loud, but it's not like insanely loud. Is this the volume that beats Vecna? Actually, come to think of it, seeing that 100 decibels only is as loud as a drill makes the whole thing in the trailer feel a little anticlimactic. Like you think they're gonna smash something over the whole city, saturate the world in some sort of music to fight back against Vecna. But it's not that, it's just this. Or I guess this. So like it's loud, but it's not ear-deafening loud. Like if we look further on the chart, it's not balloon popping or jet fighter taking off, howitzer cannon. Actually, a howitzer cannon would be so freaking cool. I'm sorry it's not that. But maybe the most important point is it's not rock concert level of loud. That is important because obviously that is sort of what Eddie did back in season 4. But this time is different. I wish I had a better theory to toss out there, but my guess is it will all somehow mesh together to create an opening for Eleven and Hopper to get down into the Upside Down. The only other possibility is this shot. Now Joyce is in front of the microphone while they sit around. It looks as if she's going to say something, but what? What is it about? Normally she would be doing something odd to talk to Will or whatever, but maybe that's just not the case here. Is she talking to the city, to the military? Maybe, but it seems like a lot of work for something that could be accomplished by other means. Maybe it's a way to communicate with Max, the one who is currently out of it. There's not a lot of Max in the trailer. She's unconscious. I assume this is episode 1. We do see the hospital under attack. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Now I suspect Max may be somehow trapped, and there could very well be scenes that intercut with these where we see her trying to escape that. I would guess she is somehow away from Vecna, so she's not in danger. She just can't get anywhere. It could be some sort of in-between. It may be worth diving deeper into as we get closer to release. But definitely music as a means of recovery isn't the solution. That's how you got away from Vecna. This sort of in-between would be like a purgatory, and the big question is, if she does return, will she have any sort of powers or abilities? She was basically touched by Vecna and lived, something no one else did. It is very possible for some abilities stayed with her. That would prove very crucial in the final confrontation. Now, there's also Will. He's sort of an interesting one. In a way, he's the most important character of the show, the one who kicked off the series, but also had the least to do as the show progressed. He was reduced to a tag-along last season. Now we know from the Duffer Brothers that he's going to have a lot more to do this season. That is more than just his spider sense going off. Now there isn't much to go on by the trailer, but that sense may be a clue. Did Will get powers or abilities of some kind? Maybe not like 11, but something different. He was trapped and in for a long time. He's always had some sort of relationship with Vecna. Now a small segment of fans go gaga over the romantic relationship between Will and Mike. Obviously it won't happen as Mike is with 11. I do think that's part of the point, an unrequited love on Will's end. I think it's really not that big a deal, it's just a plot point in Will's arc. Though as part of the show is about growing up, it can be done really well and resonate with the themes of childhood and adolescence, and romantic feelings will often not be answered. Overall, Stranger Things is perhaps the best poster child for the new "it takes forever" format Hollywood television operates under these days. The first season was 2017, season 3 was 2019, and there's only been one season released since then. Season 4 came in 2022. Now granted, they hit some obstacles. COVID stuff delayed a lot. Then, when they were going to start season 5, they ran into the writers and then actors strike. It's understandable and explainable, but that doesn't help. Television really thrives on momentum and excitement from season to season. This was a show about young kids encountering fantastic and horrific wonders. Well, as has been pointed out, they aren't kids anymore. Goodness, Millie Bobby Brown got married in production of the final season. How is that for insane? I'm actually happy for her, but it's proof this show has lingered too long. We do know the show itself will address this somewhat, as there will be a time jump at some point, probably in part 2. But still, the wait means fans will probably have to catch up, and a lot of casual fans just won't. For some reason, it feels like a bit of work rewatching a series to prepare for a new season, but that's the way it goes these days. Even I have to sit down and mentally go through a list of who the characters are. I mean, I know the big ones, but some of those later characters aren't exactly on the front of my mind. Robin, I'm especially talking about Robin. I forget her name. I want to call her Maya Hawke. Anyway, that said, I do fully expect this season will hit the 80s nostalgia. That's really what this show does best. There's something about the kids hanging out in the basement, loading up into the station wagon to go somewhere, or pedaling their bikes hard to the next destination. It really touches your soul. I mean, yeah, they're doing it in the middle of an emergency, but that's what makes it more endearing. I'm looking forward to the end of this show, and I'm definitely going to be covering it. The Duffer Brothers have proven they can deliver bangers and are absolutely on task for the conclusion of their magnum opus. This show is bursting with potential. I'll cover some more timeline theories of Season 5 in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.